Across the UK, an average of 70 cops are assaulted in the line of duty every day.
It is a dangerous job. Police officers have been killed in the line of duty and they've come to work and not gone home. It doesn't get much more dangerous than that, and you have got to be prepared to go into any situation. And knowing that when you come to work, you know that you're putting yourself at the risk of coming to some harm.
Despite wearing stab vests and carrying batons and powder spray for self-protection, interceptors on the front line face danger on a daily basis. Steve Oliver's on patrol, but 24 hours earlier, while hunting a red Skoda Fabia, he was the victim of a savage attack. Now he's returned to the scene of the crime.
So I've been looking for the red Fabia, and as I've driven along the road behind, I'd looked into this street and seen the Fabia parked up.
As footage from his in-car camera shows, Steve clocked the wanted Skoda by chance in a quiet side street.
My initial thoughts were the vehicle had been abandoned. I sort of stopped, looked in, and as soon as I've looked into the offside wing mirror, at that point I've seen the driver looking at me, and the driver started revving the engine and actually started shouting through the open window, putting his head out, words to the effect that he's not going to stop, and he doesn't see why he should.
Single crewed, Steve called for backup, but had to act fast to stop the car getting away.
7-8 vehicles trying to make off from Migranton Road, just near the university.
The driver appeared to be attempting a three-point turn, and Steve nudged his car closer to block his escape.
2 seconds, he's playing silly buggers at the minute.
The Skoda stalled, and Steve pounced.
The first thing I saw on notice is taking the keys and is straight out of the car. What struck me was he's a scrawny lad, but it was just the sheer crazed look on his face.
The guy wasn't giving up, and bystanders filmed the tussle on their phones. After being thrown to the floor, Steve had no choice but to take drastic action.
I've managed to get my spray out, my carver out, and I've sprayed him fully in the face with half a can, but it had absolutely no effect on him whatsoever.
A tiny minority seemed to be immune to Parva spray. Unfortunately for Steve, he was toe-to-toe with one of them.
Still in an absolute rage as he's come towards me, fist clenched, and I could see the keys in his fist.
The driver punched Steve in the face, using more than his fist. He used his keys as a weapon. Steve drew his baton for protection, but realised he was seriously injured.
I could feel the warmth trickling down the side of my face, and it's at that point that I've realised that there's just blood trickling down my neck, which I think was possibly caused by the key in his hand that he's then used as a weapon.
He was making headway with his attacker when a member of the public got between them. The suspect made a dash for his car.
He's obviously thought, sod this, I'm off. Got back in the car, locked the door, started the car up and smashed the windscreen to try and stop him, try and blur his vision as he's started driving off.
But Steve wasn't out of danger.
He's then reversed up. My car's been in the road, he's deliberately smashed into the back of the car. And accelerated away, leaving me and my damaged car and bruised ego in the middle of the road.
The driver who assaulted Steve and drove off handed himself in at the police station. By driving a vehicle, he was in breach of a sexual harm prevention order issued to him 3 years before. After pleading guilty to assaulting a police officer, dangerous driving, criminal damage to the vehicles, and breaching the Sexual Offences Prevention Order, he was jailed for 18 months, banned from driving for 2 years and 9 months. And Steve needed urgent medical attention.
The wound was glued back together and then a couple of steri strips over the top. And it's when sort of in the cold light of day you think, you know, he's using a key as a weapon, and essentially it is a small knife, and you think it's close to my eye, even a good punch to the side of the head where it's soft in the temple, and that would have pretty much been lights out at the time. When you look back on these things, you do sometimes think, you know, it's a lucky day.